Hello and welcome to season 3 of GRC and Me. I'm your host, Megan Fee. And for those who have listened to previous episodes, thank you. And thank you for joining us again on another season where we interview industry thought leaders to address GRC market challenges, innovation, and experiences. For today's episode, we have two special guests joining us, Emily Affinito, who is the GRC Technical Content Manager, and Amrutha Sivakumar, Senior Product Manager here at LogicGate. So today we're going to talk about the Risk Cloud Exchange, what it is, why it was developed, and the ultimate vision for the GRC community as a whole. So now, enjoy my conversation with Emily and Amrutha. So I'd love to get to know our guests joining us today. We have Emily Affinito joining us and Amrutha Sivakumar. So Emily, would you be so kind to just share an introduction about yourself, your role at LogicGate, and what led you to GRC?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Megan. So as Megan said, my name's Emily Affinito. I am one of LogicGate's GRC technical content managers. So what that essentially means is I help oversee our existing application library as well as our standards and regulations library, and also look for ways to advance that library to support our customers in the future. And the reason I got into GRC, I actually started in cybersecurity, so I was doing a lot of cybersecurity specific GRC work historically, but was kind of looking to broaden that scope into a more general GRC space.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Emily. We're excited to get into this content today. And Amrutha, same to you. We'd love to hear about your role at LogicGate and what led you to this space.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. Excited to be here. I am a product manager at LogicGate. So my roles and responsibilities really deal with trying to figure out what feature set that we can add to our Risk Cloud that really helps you operationalize your GRC programs using our technology. I have an engineering background, and I've always been really passionate and interested in process improvement and system design. And so I love being able to take and imagine what your processes could look like when kind of made efficient with our platform. And I think GRC is just a really fascinating lens to do that with.
That's awesome. And Amrutha, well, let's start our conversation with you. We have been seeing a lot of great information about this Risk Cloud Exchange. So we would love to hear if you could share with our listeners, what is the Risk Cloud Exchange and why was it developed?
Yeah, our Risk Cloud technology really lets you operationalize a whole variety of GRC programs, right? So you can really take just a variety of different problems that you are having within your organization in the GRC space and actually translate that to our program. What we wanted to create with the Risk Cloud Exchange was a central space where you could actually dive into the realm of what's possible using our technology. So to start, we already have more than 50 and a constantly growing library of pre-built applications, data catalogs, standards and regulations, and integrations. And as a first pass, we wanted to expose all of that so you can really explore them on your own time and discover what you could add. But also down the road, we want to create a space. We want to make Risk Cloud Exchange into a space where you can discover other best practices from the community of other Risk Cloud users.
Thanks for that. And you mentioned something that I appreciate as a consumer, that the Risk Cloud Exchange is a place where GRC practitioners can go and they can independently discover and explore the content available to help to bolster and mature their program. And I know just from being in this space, folks are at every level of maturity in their GRC program. Some are really, really advanced, and some are just trying to get off spreadsheets and SharePoint. And so it is a great resource for folks to understand what's possible, the art of the possible within GRC and what's available. So thank you for sharing about the context of what led the LogicGate team to develop it. And then Emily, Would you be able to speak to or share with us a little bit more about your decision-making process when you think about adding new content to the Risk Cloud? I know that that's an iterative part of this Risk Cloud exchange. It's not just a stagnant site. It's going to develop and improve over time. So how do you decide what content is added next?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we actually gather and summarize feedback directly from our customers, prospects, and partners. We maintain a customer feedback portal, so all our customers have access to this portal to directly share both their content feedback, but also their product feedback, which will go directly to Amrutha and team. So we really look at that to assess what are we seeing, what are these trends, what needs to come next, and that helps us prioritize our content roadmap. And we really look at this quarterly to make sure, just as you said, Megan, it is so iterative, make sure we are meeting the most current needs. In addition to that, we know that this is a quickly advancing industry, so our team is always reviewing industry trends and thought leaderships to make sure we're assessing what will be most impactful to our customers going forward as they grow their GRC programs alongside Risk Cloud.
Thanks, Emily. And I've heard you've referenced this concept of an application in the Risk Cloud, and I always give credit to GRC practitioners who are on this journey to evaluate GRC technology because people call different things all different kinds of things. So can you break it down for us? What exactly is an application in the Risk Cloud?
Yeah, definitely. If we break it down, really an application is a term that we use for Risk Cloud to describe a module that's solving a customer's business use case, specifically in the GRC case for our purposes. So we think enterprise risk management, incident management, controls management, kind of being those separate application places. So we offer a lot of pre-built applications that our customers can use as starting points if they don't have any custom processes to build their applications off of. But of course, those pre-built applications are 100% customizable. So if our customers do choose to use one of those as a starting point, they can still really configure it and customize it to refit that app for their organization's specific needs.
And you mentioned something a minute ago, Emily. You said that you are gathering feedback from the customers and from the market and all different points of feedback, and then you share it with Amrutha and Amrutha's team. That's a really collaborative a point of sharing knowledge. And so, Amrutha, how do you see what you're building technically with the Risk Cloud Exchange supporting what Emily is doing on the content side of things?
Yeah, our goal with the Risk Cloud Exchange is to make sure that as a whole, it is really usable and the interface actually enables you to go and find what you're looking for. And when you click into a particular solution in the Risk Cloud Exchange, we want to show you other related solutions or other related applications or data catalogs that are related to that so you can really explore through the Risk Cloud Exchange. On the flip side, we want to make sure that what we're building in the Risk Cloud itself pairs really nicely with the work that Emily and team are putting out on the exchange. So we're creating a feature set in parallel that allows you to really take advantage of all of these different solutions that we're adding to the Risk Cloud Exchange and make sure that you're able to really easily customize the applications and other content that you're downloading from the exchange to fit your organization using Risk Cloud technology.
So it sounds like just how Emily talked about the content is going to be iterative. There will be new resources available. It also sounds like there's going to be functionality improvements just within the Risk Cloud itself. So what would you say would be some upcoming functionality that Risk Cloud users today could look forward to with the Risk Cloud Exchange?
I get really excited talking about this because we have a lot that's actually in the works. If you're a Risk Cloud customer, what we're going to enable you to do is in the Risk Cloud Exchange, authenticate. So log in with your Risk Cloud credentials. And then once you do that, you'll be able to unlock a wide variety of more information about each offering in the Risk Cloud Exchange. So you can really make a knowledgeable decision about whether you want to trial and test that solution in your Risk Cloud. We want you to, once you kind of make that decision that you're ready to take a look at this piece of content, we want you to be able to one-click download that into your Risk Cloud. And then once you're in the Risk Cloud, our philosophy is that before you decide to go to production or go live with one of these new solutions that you add, you have full confidence that the solution really solves problems for your organization. So we're creating a new redesigned experience in the Risk Cloud that lets you kind of separately manage your applications and other content that's in a draft mode or a testing mode, and then kind of more seamlessly go live with those solutions when you're ready.
That's amazing. I will say I've been on a lot of calls recently, and that's the ask. The ask is, how can we just understand what's available and how it might work for us, or how it might be configured to meet our needs, before we have to, go live with it. So it sounds like they're going to get the benefit of both worlds. They can really get hands-on experience here as a Risk Cloud user today. So really cool. And Emily, what is some new content that Risk Cloud users could look forward to on the Risk Cloud Exchange?
Yeah, we're always looking, first off, to advance our existing application library. So taking into account the features that Amrutha and team are putting out to make sure our applications are really adopting those features and can be as powerful as possible. But on the new content front, we recently released a CMMC self-assessment application. We've been hearing a lot about CMMC, obviously the new standard in the defense industrial base sector. So giving a lot of our customers in that sector the ability to self-assess and prepare for CMMC self-assessments. In addition to that, SMB is a very important segment for us. A lot of our customers come from that SMB space, and we've been hearing a lot of feedback around how we need to make SOC 2 assessments more streamlined in Risk Cloud. So giving them some pre-built tools, applications, policy libraries to be able to streamline those assessments via the platform. And then finally, I think what I'm most excited about is a new content type that we're offering. It'll be called catalogs. So when we think about catalogs of risks, threats, policies, giving customers these objects pre-built for them to use in association with their Risk Cloud applications.
Oh my gosh, that doesn't sound really exciting. It just sounds like you're taking a lot of work off of people's plates. So that's really cool. And you mentioned SMB. For those less familiar, that just means our small or mid-sized businesses. So folks with really lean teams and growing programs, you're going to have great resources in the Risk Cloud Exchange to support your business evolution. And so we've talked about this theme today about how the feedback that you get from customers and the prospects and the market is really helping to shape the future of the LogicGate content and the roadmap, which is so exciting. It allows people to really have their voice heard, which is cool. So tell us about how can people help to shape the future, what you're working on.
Yeah, I think it all kind of goes back to that point of sharing the feedback with us, both what's been working for you as you explore this content on Risk Cloud Exchange, but also what opportunities you see for our team. So you can do that directly via our customer portal. If you have access to that, of course, you can reach out to your assigned Risk Cloud team at any time to share that feedback as well. I think at the end of the day, we just want to understand how we can best support you all. So how we can save your team's resources, how we can make sure you have a good understanding of your GRC programs. And just to kind of demonstrate how valuable this feedback can be, with the recent SolarWinds breach, one of our customers actually reached out saying that it'd be really amazing if they could assess the vendor impact directly in Risk Cloud. So we took this feedback and recognized this would be a great opportunity to support a lot of our Risk Cloud customers. So we worked alongside our information security team to actually develop a vendor impact assessment application that customers could use for that period of time where they're for free for that period of time where they are trying to assess the impact of that breach. So that was kind of direct feedback we heard and we're able to take into account as we advance that application library.
That's amazing. And if I remember that, got into the hands of the customers really quickly. It wasn't a 6-month, this is coming and can add value for you. It was nearly immediate. So you quickly responded, you heard the feedback, you put it into action and then offered it to the Risk Cloud user community. So that's really cool. So Amrutha, I have a big question for you, but what is your ultimate vision for the Risk Cloud Exchange?
Well, as the name suggests, we want the Risk Cloud Exchange to be a true exchange. So we want the content that you're seeing in the Risk Cloud Exchange to be created by and created for our Risk Cloud community of customers and partners. And we want to make sure that we're using that feedback to be able to really quickly react, like the SolarWinds incident, to our customers, and then also make sure that you can get those best practices really quickly from other customers and partners in our community. It's actually really interesting. We've seen our customers will often come and join the Risk Cloud community with one use case in mind, but then over time, really end up adding more and more GRC and non-GRC use cases to our platform, and really find unique opportunities for operational efficiency by combining applications and integrations and interesting reporting functionality to create this really holistic program. So the Risk Cloud Exchange is going to be your one-stop shop to inspire your own program by the things that others are doing in the community.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily and Amrutha. This has been, I'll steal your word, this is inspiring. It allows people to think about how can they evolve their program and do it like we talked about earlier, independently discover what's going to be a value for them. And then it sounds like folks are going to able to have their voice heard and provide feedback that will shape the future of not just the Risk Cloud functionality, but also the Risk Cloud Exchange content and technical functionality. So really cool. Thank you both. This has been an amazing conversation about what's to come and the Risk Cloud content as well as Risk Cloud Exchange. Thank you both for joining us today on another episode of GRC and Me.